guys, it is Tanya and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to part 4 of this Let's Build series where we are building an A-frame, a modern A-frame in real time. So this is the 4th part. We did a lot of changes last time, mostly with the front window, the landscaping, and we started working on the back deck as well as working on a floor plan. Anyway, since then, there has been a lot of comments and suggestions on both what we can do moving forward and things that we can change that we already have established in this build. So I've wrote down a ton of suggestions. Some of them we'll end up implementing, some of them will combine ideas, some might not work, and we're just gonna see what happens. So the first thing I wanted to do, which I thought was a cool suggestion, was to encase the flower beds with rocks or separators of some sort, because having them encased like that would look a little bit more modern and more man-made. So I think I want to do that, and I'm not entirely sure if I want to use rocks like this or if I want to use items out of debug that I've used in the past. So let's turn on debug. So bb.show hidden objects. And then we get these beautiful Strangerville stones. I love those. But then if I type in debug here, and I'm actually going to filter by base game because it'll be easier for me to find stuff. Or maybe not. Let's see how quickly I can find these little rock things that I use. But it'll probably take me forever to place them down if I do end up using them in the end. There's this debug item that I like to use to frame flower beds. It's I don't even really know what the item is supposed to be honest. But I've used it quite a few times to align flower beds, and I think it looks pretty cool. I wish we actually had an item like that was easier to place down, or a fence that was more rounded like what you can create with it. It's this item right here, and I usually size it up and then I will place it down and grab another. You can't actually shift place these because they are debug items, but you just do a bunch of these together and you can kind of place them around a flower bed, and depending on how you lay them down, they can kind of be more rounded shapes around it. So I'm kind of thinking I'll place these down. I don't know. I don't want to spend all the time doing it if I'm not going to like it. So I'm going to do just a few more and see if I'm liking the idea of using these. I think I am, because they'll be very rounded and fit the idea that I'm thinking of, but I also don't want to waste the time if I decide it's a bad idea. But I think I'm liking that, and we can just go all the way around this to make it look a little bit more man-made. Almost done placing these around here, and then I think we'll fill it in with dirt because there's some spaces right here that aren't quite filled in. There's some grassy patches because I just wanted to make this look as seamless as possible, or I guess like smooth as possible. And I think we might actually do this same technique in the front on that flower bed by the stairs as well. I think that looks pretty good. Let's just fill this in with dirt real quick. Let's grab the dirt, and I think this is the shade we used. Maybe, I don't know, but we're just gonna quickly fill that in. I think that looks pretty good, and I think I want to do the same thing over on this pathway, or on this garden bed as well. Okay, that is all set now. I think it looks pretty nice. I had to move the trash can over here, and I didn't record me actually placing all of that down because it would have taken absolutely forever it did take absolutely forever, so I didn't think you guys would like to see that. So the next thing I wanted to do is kind of go back to the landscaping I had in the back here. I had a couple of comments saying that it looked a little bit better being more organic to kind of mimic the land around the back of the home, and I agree. I think maybe we'll have these two kind of staggered like this, and maybe, we could even make one of these smaller. I don't know if that's weird or not. We could do that, and I kind of think there's a bunch of boulders and stuff over here. Maybe having some large boulders towards the back of the lot might look nice. I'm gonna scale this one up and try and place it along here somewhere. I think we might grab another rock. Just kind of have a couple of them here so that it, I think that looks good. Yeah, just add some dirt in that area. And I think that works pretty well for what I was thinking. I also, because I have so many suggestions to get rid of it, I'm gonna get rid of my purple rug. Nobody liked my purple rug. Guys, why don't you like my purple rug? I also am gonna get these off of an angle because there was a couple suggestions to make them more straightforward. So we're gonna do that. And there's also a couple questions asking if these are functional like this. You can still sit on the ottoman, you just can't sit in the chair. So they do still work. They're just a little bit funky. Hopefully we'll eventually get real loungers in the game one day. I would really like that. But we're gonna just move this forward a little bit here and make it a little bit straighter, and like maybe we'll get like a little table to put next to it. I also had suggestions saying that this was too busy. I definitely agree with at least these, but maybe we can leave the yoga mats, just make them not at an angle. I think the angle was bothering a lot of people, and I understand that. Kind of like the basket still though. And then there was a suggestion to bring this over on this side instead, which I guess I could try, or to like make it a full-on outdoor kitchen. I don't think we have enough space on this lot for that though, or on this back porch, but I think we could make that work on that side instead. That frees up some more space, makes it a little bit less cluttered, and then maybe we could put the table over here and have like a plant on the wall. And that could work. It's like a subdued, like grayish tone. What if this was actually on that? If we size this down and that's just where we had the basket? I think that could work. So there's not so much stuff on the ground. Just have these towels here to lay on. I'm also gonna see what it looks like without them. I don't know, I kind of like them, but maybe they're not here. Maybe they're over here instead. I'm not sure what to do with the yoga mats that are acting as towels. I just kind of like the idea of having them to lay down by the pool. I think I'm gonna add this plant from Dine Out over on the wall. And I also do want to add an actual rug under this area to bring in a little bit of color, but apparently not as much as I was bringing in before. But I do still think that purple is going to be an accent color we're using. I wish this had like some subtle purples on it, because this is a really cool modern rug. I don't think it does. It has a lot of other colors, but I don't think purple is one of them. Because I think the purple would look nice, but also like maybe a greenish tone would look nice, but that's also very in your face. And apparently that was not a good thing with the other rug. So what are some of our other options? Actually, I'm gonna filter by purple and see what other rug options pop up. I have a feeling it's not gonna be what I want. I mean, we could do something like that, but this is the rug we had. I guess it is more subtle. That's pretty simple. I mean, we could do that one. I think that's what we're gonna stick with for now. People had asked why I put a roof here instead of extending out the balcony. The reason I did that is because when I extended this out before, the roof down here was clipping through, but that doesn't seem to be a problem anymore, so I am gonna go ahead and extend this balcony out. Personally, kind of like this siding, to be honest, but maybe we could try like a paneling that's a little bit more traditional, or we're not really going for a traditional look, but like it's less cabin-esque is this kind of paneling, but I do really like that deep wood color we had. So I kind of like that because it still has the same pretty similar color at least, but it looks, I think, less cabin-like. Oh, I accidentally painted that bit. We'll have to fix that. But let me know what you guys think, because I don't know, it didn't bother me that much, but I know there were a couple of comments about it being very cabin-y. And then I also had suggestions for whatever color that was to paint this half wall in the front that color. I'm gonna test it out and see if I like it that way, because I don't know if I will. I mean, it's not bad. I don't know if I would have thought to do that. So thanks for that suggestion. I'm not sure what I think of it yet. I think I need some time to just stare at it, essentially. But let's just fix that bit we didn't mean to paint. I mean, I think I like it. Let's also grab this and come over here and paint the parts over here that we haven't repainted yet. Also, somebody pointed out, which I hadn't even noticed before, that the skylights on each side are not at the same spot. So we're gonna fix that as well. Luckily that's an easy fix. I don't know how I managed that. I was just like, oh, there should be space between them, and then yeah, it's just in the wrong spot. So let's go and repaint this area real quick here. But in order to fix these, we just have to move this over here. Let's just quickly do that. And then I'll move the windows over for now. We might change the windows, but for the moment, they can stay, and we'll just extend these roofs inward so that those are in the same spaces. Okay, I think that works. That works pretty well. So now they line up a little bit better. They don't line up exactly though. Okay, hold on. This one lines up exactly. This one does not. So we're gonna move this one over, and then we're gonna grab a piece of the roof and just have a small piece of it over here. Let's see. There we go. That's what I'm looking to do. There we go. so weird that they're at different spots, but I think that works out better now. Kind of strange that it's like at the same spot right here, but it's just because the sides are not equal, which bothers me a little bit, to be honest. But maybe we could extend this porch out a little bit, and also the section underneath, make this area downstairs a little bit wider. That could solve the problem. But now we have this bit of roof coming through. Bring that over there. That works out pretty well. And then maybe we can do what I had done on the back and have one of these big windows next to the door. Maybe not. Maybe it has to be one of these so that it centers a little bit better in the space. I mean, I think that works, and that gives us extra space downstairs as well. Okay, it is time to work on the floor plan now, and there were some suggestions. So I have this downstairs bathroom here, but it was suggested that I actually move it to this side of the stairs, which I do think might work a little bit better. It cuts off some of the space for whatever this room over here is going to be, but I think that's okay, because I don't even know what that room's going to be yet, and then that opens up this space a little bit more. I'm also going to delete these walls and these ones, and we'll reconfigure this floor plan a little bit. So then when we go upstairs, maybe we could have these stairs be too wide instead, so they're a little bit more grand, and that'll fill in a little bit of the space up here. It's also suggested that I make this bedroom or this bathroom a little bit bigger, which we can definitely do. So I think that works. We still only have this very small space to get into this bedroom, which I think would be the master because it's bigger, but it has less windows. This has so many windows in it. One of the other things that was suggested is that we try to have archways instead of windows in these spaces. So I'm actually going to see how I feel about that. I feel like there's not a good medium wall height archway that's 2 tiles in black. This one comes in white, but it's also super traditional. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really like it. Could also try some sliding glass doors, but once again, I'm not sure how I feel about those. So I'm kind of still feeling the windows, honestly. I mean, if these were tall wall height, there is a very simple tall archway, which would work very, very well. I think at the top of the steps here, we're gonna go ahead and grab a half wall and draw it around so that there's no falling down those steps. I mean, we're gonna also add a railing so that you can't fall down, but I think we're gonna have to figure out what these rooms are gonna be, because I don't know if I want this to be a bedroom with that many windows. Maybe this could be some kind of other like activity room. Maybe downstairs could be a bedroom. There's a bunch of different ideas, and also we freed up some space, so we might be able to even add more rooms down here or reconfigure it all together. But let's grab some doors to lead into these different rooms. I think we're gonna need a single wide door, so we're probably gonna have to make it the shortest wall height. And I think we're gonna use these Seasons ones because they come in black and they're simple and I like them. So I think those are gonna be the doors for those rooms. And then maybe this is going to be like an ensuite bathroom. I think that could work. So maybe over there or maybe over here. I'm not really sure where that's gonna go, but I'm gonna grab some lights to place down. I like adding the ceiling lamps, these saucer lights, and I actually scale them down using the bracket keys so that they're less in the way while you're working on the build. So I'm just going to add a couple of those throughout the house so it's a little bit brighter in here so we can figure out the floor plan a little bit better and actually get to some decorating this part, which I'm definitely really excited about. So upstairs we still have these 2 rooms. This one has too many windows, so I don't know if I want it to be a bedroom, but we could still make it a bedroom, but maybe that would make a nice office or gym area. Not entirely sure on that. Or, I mean, maybe the whole upstairs is an office space. I'm not really sure. I feel like I'm going to keep saying I'm not entirely sure about that. But downstairs, we currently have this configuration, which I'm not sure how I feel about. It's all right. I still think the kitchen is going to work really well back here. Let's extend that wall with a dining space here. But I had also been thinking about having the dining space over here, which we kind of changed our minds about, I think. Based on all the suggestions I've got. However, we could close this off a little bit here. Let's grab the wall tool. Maybe do something like that and then just add an archway going into there. So we have this whole big open space that we can figure out what we want to do with. So I think we could use, oh, I thought we had the tallest wall height down here. We only have medium. Never mind. Can't use that archway. That's a bummer. However, we could use some of these in here probably to kind of act as an archway. Yeah, that could kind of work. So let's grab these pillars from outside. And then we have that going on. Of course, the roof is also clipping into the build, and that's because of the roof trim that we selected. So I'm actually going to change the roof trim for all the roofs to this one because it doesn't pierce through the walls, which is nice. I like the other roof trim, but it always does that, which is really frustrating. So let's just quickly change all of the roof trims so that that problem disappears and everything goes together nice and smoothly. Just basically reconfiguring the entire floor plan. Hold on. I'm going to delete everything on the bottom floor as far as floor planning goes, other than the archway that we just created, because I feel like I need to figure it out a little bit better. So we have our stairs. We're going to have our archway into the kitchen. I mean, I'm probably going to put back part of what we just had, which is this wall going around to the stairs. Maybe it can come back out this way, and this could be a place to have some storage in the kitchen. I'm really not sure where I want to put a bathroom, to be honest, because we have these giant windows absolutely everywhere. So that makes it a little bit difficult. I still kind of feel like this is a good space to have another room of some sort. I'm not sure what that room is going to be, but I think it would work out pretty well. But then we could maybe even still have the idea of having the bathroom here, but maybe it would be in this space instead. But then we're going to have a door immediately right there. But I think that could work. Let's grab another one of these lights and place that in there. And then go ahead and grab these doors we're using upstairs and see if we can get them to look okay down there. I mean, I think that works. Then we have a little bit of an awkward nook when you first walk into the house, but I might section off right here so we could put a closet, and then that would just be a place to put like coats and stuff. I think that helps. And then we still have this really open space that can be a living room / dining if we need extra dining space. Not entirely sure what the rest of the space is going to be. I feel like we'll figure it out as we go, and also depending on what kind of sim we imagine is going to be living here or if they're going to have kids. Like usual, I'm probably going to want to start with the kitchen. Kitchens are some of my favorites, so I do like the idea of having some storage space over here. I'm not sure which cabinetry I would want to use. Maybe these ones, because they are very modern. They're black, which fits really well with the rest of the house. So maybe these actually would go here. They wouldn't be tucked away, but I don't know, we're gonna figure it out. That's what this Let's Build is all about. I'm thinking maybe these countertops, which I really, really like. I think we're gonna place the cabinetry first before we figure out where to place like the stove and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna add these bits here. Do I want the rounded one in the corner, or do I just want to clip two together? Not really sure. I'm just gonna put that like that for now. Does this actually have a different one on the end? It has some different stuff in it, so we'll add that one for the end piece. Cool. All right, so that's a good start. I think I want the sink to be potentially in an island if we wanted to do that, and then maybe the stove could go right there. I really like this stove. I feel like I use it a lot. I don't know if that's bad. Maybe we should do something that's a little bit more modern, this flat top stove. I think in the gray color works fine, or like a silvery color. And let's see if we actually have space to do an island in here. I think it would look nice, but I know we have a pretty cramped space. So I think if we did, it wouldn't be a big enough one to have a sink on. It would be like one of these, one of these little ones that just has some space for some seating. Why does that not connect properly? Why is the end piece of this one different from that end piece? Can I rotate this one and get it to work? Okay, that's interesting. I feel like I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, so I think we're gonna have the sink actually over on this wall. I'm gonna move this around. I think maybe the stove back there. Or actually, let's put the stove right here and then put the sink by the window. I think that might look nice. The camera is going absolutely nuts in this room. I think that works. I'm gonna get rid of one of these lights because it's too bright in here. It's like way too bright in here. This kitchen is just kind of a weird shape. Let's go ahead and delete that cabinet and get a shorter one so we could fit a range hood above it. If we even want one, we could just have the range hood without a cabinet, like the really long ones. Like that. I kind of like that. I think we need a backsplash in this room. I'm going to look at a couple of different things because I do want to bring in some color, and when we do not have that yet, I wish the camera wasn't going crazy as well. I'm like, I want to bring in color, and I'm literally placing down gray wallpapers. That is so pretty though. Oh my gosh, I haven't used this wallpaper in forever. It's from the Fitness Stuff pack, which I love that pack so much. It's such a good pack. Oh man, that's so pretty. That is so pretty. Did not bring any color into this room. Let's see what color we can bring in though. I kind of like the idea of adding some like tiles like this in here, which I know makes the room even darker, but I kind of like it. I'm also debating on if we're gonna keep this floor tile for the light wood or not. We might, but it's also something that I'm not married to it. It's totally an option to change it. I also think maybe an island like that could work. I don't have a fridge. Oh man, the amount of times that I've realized that, or like realized I don't have something in the kitchen. Man, okay. This one doesn't match the stove, but I also feel like it's close enough and that it will allow me to put a cabinet above it. It's kind of tucked away on the side. I kind of like that. Still no color. Maybe we could add some color on the seats of the chairs we add in here. Does this have any purple? Do we have any purple options? Ooh, we have these like light whitish purple chairs. They look like they have a slight purple tint to them, or are they just white? I feel like they look like they sort of have purple to them, and they're in the purple category. I mean, they don't really add color, but I do think they look nice, and they bring in like that grayish color. So I think we are going to choose those, but let's see if we can filter by purple again and get some purple flowers of some sort in here. I hope I don't say that word too many times. Purple. So what? Of course, we want a infected dormant plant sculpture. I do think these berries could look nice though. Just a little accent piece right there. Are these too much to add in here? I have no idea. They place on here really well, but they don't place on the countertops. So I would have to do this if I wanted to place them, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I could place right next to the sink. That might be nice. I don't know if that's too much though. I also kind of want to add a microwave in here potentially. There's just one that comes in purple, but I think that's too much for this kitchen. I think I just want like a basic microwave, and of course we're going to want to add a smoke alarm in here. I'm going to add it like, I guess up here somewhere. So it's kind of out of the way, but definitely still there. Maybe some knives or something of the nature would look nice. Oh, I didn't even know those came with those neon green. Maybe just like a brown one that brings in a little bit more of a warm tone in here. I don't know. Do I prefer the black or the brown? I'm not entirely sure. Let me know what you guys think on that. I also think maybe, or even instead of that, we could have pans hanging from up there. It makes sense to have them hanging right above the stove. There'd be the pots and pans you're going to be using. I mean, we could do both, and I could make this a little bit smaller and we could have these over here. But is that too busy? Not sure, but I do want to add a little hand towel over by the sink. So let's grab one of those from here. I think they have like a lilac color in here. Yeah, there it is. I think that would look nice. I mean, that's pretty simple. I think maybe just a little runner rug in here as well. What colors does this Seasons one have? Ooh. Ooh, okay. I mean, I love that. And I feel like this is one of those situations that somebody's going to be like, it doesn't fit. And I'm going to be like, I don't care. It's beautiful. I really like that. I think that adds a really cute pop of color in here. I'm kind of thinking we might end up using these blinds from My First Pet stuff because they just work so well for stuff like that. And then maybe this particular side will also have curtains over it. It could have the City Living ones that we had just tried. I mean, maybe. Because, yeah, that purple is too much. I mean, that's not bad, but I don't know if that's too busy or, like, too yellowy for the colors we have in here. Could also try a white. Alternatively, this is the other curtain that I always use, but I wouldn't use it with the blinds. It would just be kind of pulled to the side a little bit like that. I kind of like that. I think one of these paintings from Seasons might work really well. I actually really like this first one. It has a nice purple in it and brings in some other colors. Maybe something like this and just have like a little plant or something on it. I think something like that could work. That's floating a little bit, so let's drag that down so it looks like it's sitting on the table. I like that. I might even add like a bigger planter in the corner because I definitely like having greenery in my game. I think that looks nice, and then we can have a dining table here. Kind of feeling this Get Famous one, maybe? Yeah, I think we're going to try this one because I feel like it fits the space well. It's glass. It's so pretty. It has a little bit of that like mid-century look to it, which is something I really, really like. So I think we're going to try for this one, maybe with like just some basic chairs. Although if we can bring in a little bit of different color in here with that, or even just like this same grayish tone that we have on the bottom of those chairs, so it's not entirely black. Would it be too much to use the same rug that we're using outside? I'm not sure. Let's see. I mean, that's kind of pretty. There's definitely a strong purple color scheme going on in here, but I kind of like that. I definitely like that. We could also add another plant in here. I don't think, is that too many plants? I don't know if there's such thing as too many plants, but if there was, I wouldn't be surprised if I was guilty of doing so because I like adding plants absolutely everywhere. We definitely need to add a trash can in here. So I'm thinking maybe something like this one because it's really simple. We can place that right there. I might want to add something on these counters and maybe something hanging on the wall over here as well. Could add a cutting board leaning against the wall. I think that could make some sense. Maybe a fruit bowl as well. I don't know if that adds too much color in here or not, but I think for the moment we can leave it there, and I'm gonna get out of this kitchen because the movement is driving me crazy. But I think maybe a light hanging down from here would be nice. I feel like I use these ones too often, so I'm not gonna use them as much as I want to because they're so pretty. They are such pretty lights. They're probably some of my favorite ones in the game. Oh, that is so gorgeous. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, I can't use them. I just used them in a build. But I want to so badly. Okay. What light would work well here? Would something like this work? Oh gosh, that is so bright. And it's a really big light, but it's also really high up. So maybe that could work. Also, if I scale it down. How do I feel about that? I don't hate it. We also have these lights, which could work. They're huge as well, but they're another thing that we couldn't scale. I feel like those are a little bit too fancy for the space potentially, but I could be wrong. If these weren't yellow on top, that would look nice. I think these are supposed to be like office lights. They're from Get to Work, but this might work. It's just something hanging there. I feel like it seems like a little bit industrial, but I kind of like it. I have a feeling nobody else is going to like it though, but I kind of like it. These could also work. They also have that same vibe. They're also from Get to Work. Maybe one of these over the island could look nice. I kind of like that. I think we're going to grab that closet that I had mentioned before. So we're going to grab one of these from Get Together. I almost said it Get to Work. And just plop that down over here in this little nook. And then maybe if we get one of the actual coat racks as well, and maybe even a shoe rack, that could fill in this space nicely. Not sure if I want the black one or the white one. I think the white one actually works a little bit better. And I think you only need this side to be uncovered in order to use this. So I think we can place a couple of items over in front of this door. So I'm gonna grab this and place it right there. And then we can move this coat rack in front of it. I was also thinking maybe, just so there's a little bit more privacy in the front of the house, if we added, we could do a full on wall here like that, but I was actually kind of thinking maybe a half wall here. So you're entering and you're in, I mean the full wall works too. So then you kind of walk around the corner here. And then this is the living space, because I think the living space is going to be mostly in this area. This could just be more storage area or something. I'm not sure. Do I like a full wall there, or would I prefer a half wall? I'm not entirely sure. Or it could be both. Like it starts as a full wall, then it goes half wall. So it's like dividing the space up, but it's not super closed off. I'm not entirely sure, because I also feel like a half wall looks kind of weird when you first walk in, whereas that doesn't, I mean, it looks a little weird because you're kind of in this narrow hallway in this open space, but it does give a little bit more privacy, which I am a fan of. And we could also open it up by actually placing windows on the interior going through this space if we wanted to, which is kind of a cool concept. I think that kind of looks like a sculptural piece. I do have a feeling that this is going to be a very controversial thing in the comments, and people are going to either love it or hate it. But I kind of like that. I feel like it just adds a little bit something to this build, really. I'm actually going to see if there's a purple that would look nice on the interior here. Is that too much when you first walk in, a purple wall? I mean, it's only when you first walk in by the entrance, and then this side you don't even know it's there. I kind of like that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that, because I think it's kind of a cool idea. I'm going to go ahead and just place down a rug to get us started on the living room, and then I think that's all we're going to do for this part. I'm kind of thinking maybe one of these rugs from Base Game. They're really big and they're kind of pretty patterns. I'm thinking maybe a more neutral color palette in here. Definitely focus more on the beiges and grays. I think something like that. I don't know what's going to go in this area, but I do really like this sectioned off space. It might even be nice to have some like cabinetry over here so it looks like storage space. Kind of like a mudroom sort of. So let me just grab that real quick. Maybe something like this over on this wall. Just a few of those. I don't know if I like this one or if I'd prefer the Base Game one though. Like these ones. I feel like I use the Base Game one too often, so maybe something like that. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this part here. We got a ton done. We framed these out. We made a couple of changes to the back porch. Oh, I forgot I had wanted to delete this decal out of the bottom of the pool as well. And we fixed up the floor plan. We fully decorated the kitchen and dining space and got started on a couple of other things. Next part, I can make changes to all or any of the things we did this part based on suggestions, what I think sounds good and what you guys are thinking. And then finish furnishing this. We just have the living room, whatever this room is, two bathrooms, and then these rooms and, upstairs balconies and stuff. I'm hoping next part will be the finale, but we shall see. It might end up being a 6-part series, but either way, I'm enjoying this and you guys seem to be enjoying it as well. So thank you guys so very much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new here and you're enjoying the series, please make sure to also click that subscribe button so you can join our little family, and click that notification bell as well if you want to keep notified of when a new part of the series is out. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everybody.